Hi everybody, I'm Emily. I'm one of the designers with the Quilted Cow, and today I'm here to show you how to do the Mini Charming Placemats #1. It is a helpful heifer pattern, and it is super fun, fast, and easy to make. First though, let's thank our sponsors. We're sponsored by Creative Grids Cutting Mats and Rulers, Wilmington Prints, and Husqvarna Viking Machines. Let's get started. All right, so as I said, these placemats are super cute. They're fun, fast, and easy to put together. You can get a couple of these whipped up in no time. They are the Mini Charming Placemats #1, and it is a helpful heifer pattern. So you know that whenever it's a helpful heifer, all of our kits include a paper pattern in the kit, so you can either purchase the postcard pattern on its own or you can do with the paper pattern that's in the kit. You can find a kit on thequiltedcow.com. It will come with all of the fabric that you need to make 2 placemats, and they're about 12 by 18. So let's get started making these placemats. First, you're going to start with either a charm pack or a mini charm pack. If you started with a charm pack, this is done with a charm pack. If you started with a charm pack, you're going to cut down 2.5-inch squares from your charm pack, which of course are the 5-inch squares. If you have a mini charm pack, you're just going to grab your mini charms, which are 2.5-inch squares, and you're going to take 6, 9, 12. So you're going to take 15 for each placemat. So all you're going to do is you're going to lay out your 15 mini charms, or 15 2.5-inch squares, whatever order that you want, whatever order that you like, and then you're going to sew those together. One of the things that I did on these was I sewed them together and I pressed each row in opposite directions. I pressed the seams in opposite directions so that whenever I went to put them together, each of the seams nested nicely. So the top row I pressed to the left, the next row I pressed to the right, keep going left, right, left. And then whenever you put them together, you can nest those seams so that you get really nice piecing in your corners, and it makes these corners so much easier to put together. So once you've done that, go ahead and make 2 of them, because you're going to make 2 placemats. So grab 2 sets of 15. You're going to sew them together in rows of 3. So we've got 5 rows of 3 here. Once you've got that done, you also cut out a large square out of a feature fabric, out of one of the extra fabrics or one of the feature fabrics that's in your kit. So you will have a feature fabric. You'll also have some border strips. So go ahead and cut your border strips to size. And I went ahead and I sewed 2 border strips to either side of my feature fabric here. And then this is going to sew to this border strip. And then I'm going to put 1 more border strip here on the outside edge. So let me go ahead and get this put together, and I'll show you what that looks like when I get back. Okay, so now that I have this one finished and it's all pressed, now I did press to the border strips rather than to the pieced part. That way you keep your seam allowance, the bulk of your seam allowance, off to the sides, and you don't have to have too much bulk to them. You're going to add a border strip to the top and bottom. Now cut your border strip to size. And then this is kind of like squaring up a quilt. It helps to square up your placemats a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pin it to either end and make sure that it is the same size, the same length. The border strip is the same length as my placemat is. And I'm just going to pin this real quick. The other thing I like to do is go ahead and pin the other side, because that saves me from stopping and pinning later. All right, so now I'm ready to sew these borders on. I'm going to get these sewn on, pressed open, and I'll show you what that looks like when I come back. Okay, so now I have the finished placemat top put together. So everything is sewn on, like I said, these are super fast, super easy. You can get a couple of them just sewn together in a flash. So what you're going to do next is you are going to sandwich this with some sort of batting and your backing. Now, you can use fusible fleece if you want to. I personally like to use cotton batting in my placemats just because I like the cotton batting in my placemats better than fusible fleece. A lot of people like to use fusible fleece so that the top just sticks down and you can just do a minimal quilting on it. You don't have to worry about it. For me, the quilting is the fun part. If you use fusible fleece, that is perfectly fine. You're going to go ahead and make sure that you put the glue side of the fusible fleece on the back side of the tops of your placemats, and then you're going to press it down and then trim away your extra fusible fleece, put your backing on there, and you're going to quilt it as you desire. So however you want to do that. If you decide to use cotton batting, what you can do is you can use the free fuse powder. Now the free fuse powder is a powder that you're going to sprinkle on the batting. You're going to lay this over the top of it. You're going to press it, give it a good 4 seconds of heat on there. It's going to basically fuse this to your batting. It is not a permanent fuse, it is a temporary fix. So it's just going to temporarily hold that while you quilt your placemats. I also like to, once I get it fused, get the top fused down onto the batting, I also like to flip it all over and then fuse the backing to the back side of the batting as well. That way it's going to hold the backing where you want it to go, and it's not going to, you're not going to get any pleats or anything in the backing whenever you do your quilting. So once you get it all quilted, it's time to bind it. When you do your binding on your placemat, you have a couple of choices. One of the things that you can do, and one of the things that I like to do, is I like to machine bind my placemats just because it's quick and easy and it's not a big deal. Now, some people like to put the binding on the back side and fold it to the front and then top stitch down. I don't like to do that because for me, then the top stitching, especially if the backing is a different color or if it's really, really different, the thread will sometimes be off to the side of where the binding is and it doesn't meet in the seam. So it doesn't stitch in the ditch around that. So I like to put the binding on the top. I like to go ahead and sew it down to the top and then flip it over to the back. And I don't know if you can see it. It is very close. The blues are very close here, but there is a little bit of a flap here where I've stitched it down. I've stitched in the ditch on the front side. And so it is not all the way out to the edge, but that's on the back of my placemats, and I don't mind that. I think that that is just fine. It's a placemat after all. It's going to be washed, it's going to be used, it's going to be loved, and you're not going to see that whenever you look at the front. So that's how you're going to put together your mini charming placemat number 1. And like I said, the kits will have enough fabric to do 2 placemats. They are 12 by 18. You can do, you'll have everything for the front, the back, and the binding, and then the batting is your choice. So check that out on our website. Grab yourself a kit, grab the postcard pattern as well if you want it, and have fun with your placemats. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to these videos so we can keep bringing you more content, and have a wonderful day.
Okay, you wicked cool quilters, good job. You made it to the end. We would like to thank our sponsors, Husqvarna Viking Sewing Machines, Creative Grids, Rulers, Rotary Cutters, and Mats, and Wilmington Prints for the beautiful fabrics. Thanks for watching.